Hi everyone, it's Ren here. Hope you're doing well, guys, and that your Sunday is sunnier than it is in Ireland. Just to remind you that if you're interested in my book, if you're into Kafka, Dostoevsky, Camus, and all these great writers and are interested in supporting a fellow INFJ, the link is down below, psychological fiction. So today I'm going to try to give you the means of distinguishing between the INFJ type and the INTJ type in 5 minutes. So let's start now and see if we can achieve this. As you know, the INTJ and the INFJ type are very similar in that they're both NI dominance and SE inferior, which means that they have introverted intuition as their dominant function and extroverted sensation as their inferior function. The manifestation of those functions are the following, and they apply both in the INFJ case and in the INTJ case. Introvert intuition, people tend to be driven by a vision and to stick to that vision in the application of things throughout their life. Extroverted sensation, being inferior, tends to mean a sense of being disconnected and detached from the physical world and the embodiment of self, and a certain clumsiness expressed in everyday experience. So if you relate to those, you might well be an INJ, but you might not be, or at least you cannot determine at this stage whether you're an INTJ or an INFJ. So in order to get to the stage where you can differentiate between INFJ and INTJ, you need to ask yourself, how do I express my vision? Okay, so imagine that your vision, and you don't need to be fully aware of this, you can only have a broad sensation that you have this vision. In the case of an INFJ and an INTJ, what happens is, external sensation provides the data, and introverted intuition gathers it and creates patterns. Now, here we're talking about the processing of data. We're not talking about how you express the fruit of that vision. If you do express it in writing, it can be more directly visible than if you only express it in your everyday life, in conversation, without thinking too much about it. So writing can be a way to also settle the decision between INFJ and INTJ. But the domain of expression of this vision, of this way of life that is informed by this broad vision. Now, the domain of expression is the domain of the judgment functions. And as you know, in the case of the INFJ, we have FETI. In the case of the INTJ, we have TEFI. So there's going to be a difference in how the INFJ and the INTJ go about articulating, expressing, and asserting that vision. Because an INTJ has TEFI as second and third function in their stack, what this essentially means is that they are motivated by what's right, FI, and they are going to apply their vision according to what is right by means of looking for what works. So that's TE, extroverted thinking. What works is taking into account the world as it is and manipulating it in order to achieve your purpose. The purpose is informed by your NISE, and it is guided by your moral values, FI. Okay, so the INTJ is actually not so much going to look for approval at a social level from other people, so much as making sure that it is the external world of things and phenomena that agrees with the vision and the values they instill in that vision. So there's going to be a strong moral component to how they go about things, but ultimately the test of whether the vision works or not is whether it works with the world. Can the world accommodate this vision? I'm going to manipulate the world so that this vision fits, both in terms of the information that I've gathered and in terms of my moral values. Now, in the case of the INFJ, it's very different, because the INFJ is not so much motivated by what's right okay? An INFJ is actually motivated by what is correct. What is correct? That's TI, okay? What is correct? That's an introverted process. But they don't just stop there, okay? They have the vision and they want to make sure it's correct. But in order to make sure that it's correct, they will then need to look at what connects, and that's FE. What connects means manipulating not the world of things like the INTJ's TE, but engaging the world of people, seeing whether that vision which they think is correct connects to other people. And the test of whether it connects is deeply connected to whether, it is correct, okay? So for them, the successful vision is whether its correctness is confirmed by its ability to connect to other people. In the case of the INTJ, the test of the vision is whether it's being informed by strong values, is confirmed by the external world of things and processes. So if you identify with one, you're an INTJ. If you identify with the latter, you are an INFJ, or vice versa. Anyway, so let me know what you think in the comments and tell me if this was helpful. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.